every day of the finest ingredients in health. Now I have a swell surprise. Made fresh every day.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Casey for your Wrestling Takes. Back again to talk about last night's AEW Dynamite. The picture you seeing, yes, Mike Tyson was advertised. He was back on the show, and I will talk about how goofy he looked in the segment that he was in. How do I feel about this episode of Dynamite? Decent episode. Like I said, this is how, like, personally for me, Dynamite has, I feel like they just been hitting it. They haven't really been going over the ledge for out of this world episodes. I just feel like they've just been stagnating. They've been putting out decent content. I ain't saying that the shows is bad or nothing like that, but one thing I gotta say, I am thankful that tonight's episode was not heavily tag team. Even though we did have 2 tag team matches, that's how I like it. I told you, I think people be getting to Tony. Tony know not to overbook your show with 5 main tag team matches. Don't overbook your show with all these goofy tag team. I know this is the place to come for tag team wrestling, but you don't have to have all these different tag team matches throughout your entire show. You know, promo wise, as always, Dynamite always kills it with the promos. Everybody cutting promo. I mean, you even got QT Marshall cutting promos now. I'm like, promo work is always off the chain. That's the one thing I like about Dynamite. Cats come on here, they say what they got to say, and we move on from there. So let's go ahead and break down this episode. I got a couple of issues with this episode, but for the most part, like I said, decent episode. Let's dive in. So on this episode, we had Jurassic Express vs. Bear Country, trios match, Moxley and the AEW World Heavyweight Champions, the Tag Team Champions Young Bucks versus the AEW World Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers with Don Callis. We had the return of the Inner Circle. We had the Bunny with Matt Hardy and the Butcher and the Blade versus Tay Conti with Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, 10 and -1, aka Bro Lee Jr. We had the TNT Championship match between Darby Allin versus JD Drake. And like I said, Mike Tyson's appearance. So we talked about, the opener match. So we had the first match, Adam Page versus my man, Max Caster. Now, y'all remember, the Acclaim, I was not on the Acclaim bandwagon because I'm like, who is these want to be like Fruity Pebbles with the word of life gimmicks and all that stuff? As time moved on, I've started to become a fan of Max Caster and Anthony, I forgot his last name. But I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. I would have actually liked Max to go over in this match. I know you pushing Adam Page to the moon because we know Adam Page is going to be the guy to take the main title off of Kenny Omega. Anthony Bowens, that's it. There it says right there. I would have actually liked Max to go over. I think Adam could have took a pin. I'm serious. I know he's high up and they want to push him to the moon because he's going to be the next guy. But I feel like if you are trying to push Max in them, you could have easily allowed the man to go over. And it would have been an upset victory because everybody expected Adam Page to win. Now, this question that we ask ourselves, where does Adam go from here? He got the victory over Max. Decent match. They did try to cheat. Oh, and before the match, you know, Max always come out there cutting his little rhymes and everything. It was funny. He mentioned something about Joe Biden, said something, you know, all these crazy, just goofy stuff. You know what I mean? It was funny. But like I said, man, I would have preferred Max to go over. That's just my personal opinion. Because y'all know how I feel about when I see us on the show. I would love for us to start getting victories. But you know, it is what it is, man. Decent match. You know, they did what they had to do. Adam Page did what he did. Max did what he did. Adam Anthony did what he did. But Adam goes over. So, you know. Um, next, after this, Tony Schiavone started talking about Death Triangle. That obviously they got their tag team title shot next week against the Young Bucks. And so Pac is back. So as they was out there, next thing you know, here come Orange Cassidy, the best friends, and the alien, the returning alien, aka Chris Stanlighter. And Orange come walking out, and I said, wait a minute. So what? We got a beef with them now? But Orange, he walked out and he started talking. He started sounding like a heel. I said, wait a minute. So now are they heel staples now? That was the vibes I was getting. I said, wait, hold up. Orange Cassidy heel now? I never seen a heel Orange Cassidy. I don't know how that would work, but they came out, started talking crap, talking about we got unfinished business. And they showed what happened last year, Revolution, which was a great match. That match turned me into an Orange Cassidy fan because I was like, this dude is a clown. He always putting his hands in his pocket all the time, doing the goofy stuff. Then he go kick, you know, acting like he finna do the sweet chin music, but he does it soft and just looking real silly and everything. But that match, he came alive. And I said, you know what, Orange Cassidy can go. And Pac made it. Pac made him look great because they jailed together. So I understand why they going back to this rivalry. Let me tell you something. Orange Cassidy and them, they've been on the burner because they just came off this garbage feud with Miro and Kip Sabian. So I know they trying to get them back into good graces with everybody because I know a lot of people was like, you know what, they was not feeling that match. They was not feeling that beef altogether because, like I said, it just fell flat. The whole beef fell flat. I don't care what nobody can say. It fell flat. So obviously they trying to retrace what went down a year ago. Uh, obviously they said so. Now it's funny how they was talking as if Death Triangle gonna win these tag team titles because they said obviously we gonna be the runners up when you get those titles. Then Pac hopped on the mic, started talking some junk, talk about some. Oh, you want to get back and try to finish unfinished business? We already dealt with you. Get to the back of the line because obviously when we win those tag team titles, we just gonna beat you again. What do you want? So then they just everybody said something. Trent said something. Chucky said something. Now the only one that didn't say nothing was Chris, but obviously they all together and everything, so they their own faction. And then they walked off and left. So like I said, I'm guessing it's gonna be the three of them versus the three of them next week. Obviously, you know, we can't go 1 week without Dynamite without having a six-man tag team match. I told you, Tony Khan loves his multi-man matches. He loves it. Now, like I said, multi-man matches are only supposed to happen on special occasions because AEW is the place for factions. We got so many doggone factions. It's like, man, like, bro, here we go again. We got, what do we do with everybody? I still feel like it's the whole, I got to get everybody on TV. You don't. Everybody does not deserve to be on every episode of Dynamite. Because when you start seeing cats over and over and over again, you be like, oh, man. I said, okay, this clown again. I'm like, so anyway, Judas music hit in the circle. They come out. Chris Jericho pretty much says, and they all was dressed in black. So now the clown foolishness that the inner circle was doing in their previous run is over. Ain't no more clowning going on. Now Jericho did clown the Pinnacle because he roasted every single one of them. Everything he said was 100% fact. Talk about MJF trying to be better than him and all this. Then he went down the list. He talked about he pretty much mentioned his old gimmick, Sean Spears. He talked about how I kept getting a certain number that kept saying something about like you used to be decent like 10 years ago. Then he talked about FTR and said that if y'all claim y'all the best tag team, y'all nothing but washed up. Then talked about Warlow being a big dummy or something like that, just real goofy. And he even got on Tully Blanchard. He said, "Man, how you talking about you the best dude out there when you was the least likely person in your four horseman stable. You was the third man. In other words, Arn Anderson and Ric Flair was way better than you. You know, so they basically said ain't no more games going on. And they said since you guys did what you did to us, we tasted blood. And so coming May 5th, they announced it. We're getting the blood and guts match. I can't wait. That match is gonna be off the chain. I cannot wait for that match. I knew that the match was supposed to go down last year because he mentioned it was supposed to happen on March 25th, but because of the pandemic, they weren't able to do it. So obviously they are hoping. Tony Khan and them is hoping that they're allowed to have more fans by May 5th, that they can get a hold on this virus or whatever. I'm praying that we can too, because I'm being honest with y'all, wrestling needs fans. Wrestling needs fans. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it because the fans make the show. You know who's getting over, who's not getting over with the crowd is there. So it's great that Dynamite's been able to have fans, but it's still, we've been stuck at Daly's place week in, week out. It's like, man, and the fans that they got and the wrestlers themselves can only do so much. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to May 5th because they said we're going to beat the brakes off of them. Now, obviously, I personally think that the Pinnacle is going over. Because I think they probably going to all get jumped so bad that this is going to put them off TV. And obviously, Chris Jericho got his tour dates coming up with his group. So, anyway, like I said, said what they had to say. Talked about everybody in the group. So then backstage, Dasha is talking with Christian Cage. And Christian Cage basically trying to give an excuse about getting outworked by Frankie Kazarian, talking about anytime anybody has to get in the ring with me, they're gonna have to get up to my level. And even though I look like my lungs was gasping, all this stuff, he pretty much said that I made him work up to my level. Like, no, bro, you got outworked. Let's keep it above. Christian Cage got outworked, and he know he did. So he's talking. Taz now, I didn't say nothing about it, but online early yesterday, Taz is online recruiting. So that tells me a lot I need to know. Brian Cage getting ready to get kicked out the group, but he was online recruiting. So he pops about the Will West. Hey, Christian, me and you, we go way back. So you said 7 years. I mean, we've been friends, since way back then. We've competed against each other. And I'm looking for somebody like you to come join Team Taz. I'm telling you, we'll help you get to that main event spot that you want to be in. And he just blabbing gas, and Christian want to try to say something and all this, but he said, nah, don't tell me nothing, sleep on it. I'll tell you a little bit later. Now, I'm thinking Christian finna try to give a rebuttal right quick after Taz walked off. They just magically just cut and said, coming up next, we got the Godzilla versus Kong match was Jurassic Express versus, I mean, they just said, we moving on. Like, they didn't even let, usually when you got a segment like that, they'll put the camera on whoever got interrupted, and they'll just have a goofy look on themselves. But the fact that Dasha said, coming up next, we got Jurassic Express and Beer Con, I said, you know what, man? I don't know. I don't know if they was trying to rush it. I don't know. It just came off kind of goofy to me. But we got this match, Jurassic Express versus Bear Country. Now, like I said, I've seen Bear Country a couple of times. This match was a decent tag team match. You obviously knew who's going over. What else can I say about this? Because obviously what took place last week on Dynamite, you knew this match had to happen. But they was advertising the movie Godzilla versus Kong. Now the Bear Country represented Kong, and Jurassic Express and them represented the Godzilla, whatever. That was basically the whole theme of the tag team. Jurassic Express, they get the victory. So I don't know what this means. I don't know if the beef is over. I don't know. But like I said, decent tag team match. It is what it is. Then we get QT Marshall cutting a very great promo. I said, man, talking about, hey, look, this fool used to be my friend Cody Rhodes, but obviously he used me. He was washed up. He was nothing more than Dustin Rhodes' kid. First of all, he was this dude that couldn't get over in the WWE. Like I said, that's all he was. He was Dusty Rhodes' kid. Then he had to result in wearing makeup. Obviously, just a mid. And there's so many people that don't like Cody Rhodes that still think he's a mid-card act. Well, it's funny how he actually mentioned that. He basically said, this dude is nothing more than a mid-card act. And you probably tried to treat me like this, but I ain't got to worry about that no more because I got a group of guys that's not going to take no for an answer. And he went down the list. All of them talked about Anthony Ogogo, the boxer dude. talked about how great he is. Then he talked about the other young man. Um, I don't know the other young man's name. And then he talked about Solo. Now, it was interesting how he said about Solo. He said Solo joined the group because he doesn't want to be known as somebody's boyfriend. I said, now, you know, the wounds are very fresh. Him, everybody knew, like I said, it's funny, everybody knew him as Bailey's fiance. So obviously they trying to say he want to get a name for himself. He doesn't want to be known as someone's boyfriend. I said, that's interesting. So I would not be surprised if Bailey ended up taking a shot. You know how they like to do. They like to throw them little words out there. They like to take little shots at WWE every now and then. So we'll see. Come back, Tony Schiavone. Here we go. He can't wait. They gotta have his segment. You gotta say it's Sting. He love it. He love it. He can't. It seems like he get turned on every time he call the man out. So Sting come out, music hit, and he's talking to him. And like I said, folks, we still trying to figure out what Sting is there for. He had a great match for him, Darby Allin versus Team Taz back at Revolution. So the man was finna start talking. Next thing you know, you hear Jake the Snake Roberts talking all kind of crap, coming out there running his mouth, talk about your little punk friend. He's nothing more than a gerbil, and you know I'm a sick SOB and all this, and tired of all these garbage agendas there in the AEW. Ain't got nothing to do with that, Sting. You need to go back and sit down and get back to the back of the line because it's not about you. And then Archer came running out, snatched the mic out of Jake Hager's hand. Jake the Snake Roberts ran out there, started talking about I'm supposed to be in the main event. I'm tired of getting pushed and then I disappeared. This makes absolutely no sense. I'm tired of this stuff. Sting snatched the mic out of his hand and said, "You know what, man? Listen up. Yes, you both are crazy as heck, but listen, I agree 100% with you." They both was looking at him like, "What do you mean?" "Yeah, I'm tired of seeing you." He said, "You are the main event." He said, "I'm tired of seeing you constantly get pushed and then you disappear. It makes no sense to me. Like, you need to," he said, "Jake, tell him. You need to pretty much it was him trying to teach them both that I'm tired of seeing y'all. Now this is the crazy part. While Sting was talking all the crazy stuff, they kept focusing in on who was chilling up in the bleachers. Both Ethan Page and Scorpion Sky was chilling up in the bleachers like everything was all good. So I was basically like, what the clown are they showing them for? I said, I'm putting 1 and 2 together. The fact that Sting gave that man a compliment, I believe somewhere down the line, they didn't announce nothing, but I believe we're going to get Sting and Lance Archer versus those two because they kept focusing in on them. That's what I'm putting 1 and 2 together, you know. And so, like I said, after Sting said what he said, he walked off, but then they focused in on him again and they looked up and they was up there laughing. Scorpion Sky up there with them shades on, trying to be a meme. Ethan Page just looking goofy. I'm like, why they keep showing them? And then I thought about it. Oh, it's gonna be a tag team match. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a tag team match. I think it's gonna be I think this would be Sting's first match on Dynamite. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, tell me in the comment section. But I believe this would be Sting's first in-ring match on Dynamite. And I believe it's gonna be a doggone tag team match. So after that, you got Team Taz backstage, basically saying that everybody's good because actually on Dark, they actually had a tag team match. Now after the match was over, I believe Brian Cage. Now you know how Ricky Starks does his little dancing move where it's some kind of goofy thing he always does. After it's like when he comes through and then when he leaves, he does this goofy move where he was trying to do it. Brian Cage hopped right in front of him and started flexing. So Taz was basically trying to say that as I could recruit Christian to join our group, we're still a knit tight group. Now you got Will Hobbs like, man, what the heck is going on, bro? Like Will Hobbs looked like he was just ready to snap. He's like, hold on, bro, hold on. Everything is good. Rick Starr said, yes, everything is good. Everything is all good. No, it's not. You can see the turmoil. The turmoil is happening. Brian Cage about to dip out. Now, as they continue to recruit, I don't know who they finna get. Somebody finna join the group. Somebody. I got a couple of cats who I know that's hardcore AEW heads. A lot of them were speculating it could be the Russian girl they just signed. The Layla Leash, I think that's her name. That's what everybody was saying. I don't know. It's a possibility. Who knows? So we get TNT Championship match. Now, you see Darby and Sting coming to the ring, and this match is against JD Drake. Now, JD Drake has been dominating on Dark. I've seen a little bit of this young man. There's a lot of people that's very high on this young man. Uh, I don't know his character. I don't really know what type of character he is because I don't see it. He's a decent wrestler. He's decent. What do I call this match? What do I get this match? This match was a decent match. This was basically designed to show how dominant JD Drake could be. And Darby Allin, one thing I noticed about Darby Allin matches, Darby Allin really enjoys getting toe up. Darby Allin likes to get beat down. Like I watch his matches, he just loves it. It just seems like he enjoys pain. So he would get toe up, he'd get thrown around like a rag doll. And not doing the match, Dolph Ziggler's brother, Ryan Nate, I think it's Ryan Nate, he got caught up. He was trying to cheat. And the ref saw him. The ref said, he saw him. Sting was right there. So Sting chased him off. He chased him off. So he chased him off, right? So then my man Caesar was out there. He came out the woodwork. I think he tried to get involved. And it was just all kind of chaos going on, but just with them. Because like I said, Sting was right there just being the enforcer, just making sure that there wasn't no cheating going on, even though they tried their best to cheat. Now, I don't really think JD Drake needs them to help him out. I think he can handle himself, because he seemed to be doing all kind of crazy body slams and all this other silly stuff that was going on. Like I said, Darby Allin just like get jumped. I say that's the one thing I noticed about Darby Allin. He like getting beat up. He said he gonna defend his title. He want to be a defending champion, just like how Brody Lee was. Um, Decent match, decent. Darby Allin is a winner, and so like I said, the the rating is out for JD Drake. I believe they're gonna sign the young man. I don't think he's signed yet, but I believe they're gonna sign him. Like I said, I think he can improve things. I want to know what his character is. So since he's rolling with Caesar and Ryan, obviously he's on the heel side. He just doesn't have any character for me yet. So we're gonna find out a little bit later on with that young man if he ends up sticking around. So after this match, now as soon as Darby won, here come the Butcher and the Blade. They came out the woodwork and they beat the brakes off of him, right? So then here come the Hardy Complex, everybody out there, Butcher and the Blade, Bunny, and I'm about to say MVP, Private Party, Matt Hardy, all out there, So then Taya Conte comes out the woodwork. The Dark Order comes out to basically get rid of them because obviously we're getting ready to get Taya Conte and the Bunny later on. So obviously it didn't happen. So we come back. Marv Everest is backstage talking with Jericho, and he sit up there belly aching, talking about what they about to do to Inner Circle MJ. Now, I was like, where the heck is Inner Circle at? So I knew he was going to get jumped. Next thing you know, MJ up in the Pinnacle, they come out the woodwork. They start beating the bricks off of him. They drag him all the way to the ring. MJF's like, come on, bring him on, bring him. Talking all the goofy stuff. Now, it's funny. He did mention his scarf. Said his scarf sucks. It smells. It's all this, he basically wrapped the scarf around him. They was beating the bricks off him. Now, Alice Marvez had told the cameraman, yo, there's something going on. Like, you hear this? Inner Circle was locked in a room, locked up. So he was out there by himself. Now, you seen them bust the door down. They broke it. However, they wasn't able to get out there in enough time. Now, remember, they said Mr. Mike Tyson was going to show up. Mike Tyson came out there, and he pretty much annihilated the Pinnacle by himself. Now, he looked goofy as possible. Mike Tyson looked extra goofy. He looked goofy as possible. I was on the floor crying, laughing. I said, look at this dude. And I know exactly what they was doing it for. They was trying to take Raiders from TakeOver, Night 1, Stand and Deliver. So I know exactly what they was doing because I was saying, what's he on the show for? Tyson and Jericho must have let bygones be bygones because he came out there to rescue him. Now, you remember the last time they was in the ring, Jericho and Tyson was acting like they was ready to fight. Well, since he came to the rescue and the Circle came out there, they got rid of them goons. They all jumped out the ring. They picked Jericho, him and Tyson, hugged it up, shook each other's hand. We all good, right? So next week it's been announced we're gonna have a match. I think it's gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be Jericho versus MJF, and Mike Tyson's gonna be the special enforcer. Now, I don't know if y'all know, but the last time Mike Tyson was a special enforcer, we knew whoever he was rolling with, he ended up switching. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about back to WrestleMania 14, back when he was rolling with DX and Shawn Michaels, but it was a swerve. he ended up helping Stone Cold get that title. I don't know if that's the same thing that's going to happen in this situation, but we'll find out. Backstage, we got Tony Schiavone talking with Dr. Britt Baker. Dr. Britt Baker said some stuff, and she spoke facts. She said, y'all know the so-called rankings that takes place out here in AEW? It's all bullcrap. Now, she cursed. She said their favorite word. You know they love the poop word. They love it. She said it's all bullcrap. She said, how the heck is somebody like Taya Conte number one when I've been doing all this work? I had the best match ever on Dynamite in the women's division. You know, she's still hyping herself up. She's still, you know, rambling off that excellent match her and Thunder Rosa had. So she said, get ready to see. She said, make sure you watch Dark. Make sure you watch Elevation, because I'm going to be on both shows getting my wins up, because obviously I deserve the title. I should be number one in line. And I am DMD, Dr. Britt Baker. You know, listen, best part what she said was the ranking system. Listen, that ranking system ain't been worth nothing since they started. If you can go by the ranking system, certain people that's winning should automatically be getting title shots. Now, obviously, they finally acknowledged it because we got the Bunny versus Taya Conti. And how was this match? So you got everybody out there. You got the Bunny, Matt Hardy, the Butcher, and the Blade. You got Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, 10, and -1, aka Brutal Lee Jr. That young man is living his best life. And obviously, he's best friends with Taya, because he came out, Tay Conti came out there with her, started hugging and all this stuff. And how was this match? It was a decent women's match. The name of the game is focusing more in on Taya Conti. Now, they didn't even acknowledge Sheeta until later on, because I wasn't even paying attention. Sheeta was magically just standing out there, and I know she just had a tag team match with her, but they didn't even acknowledge her until later on. I'm like, bro, this is your AEW Women's Champion. Open up and make known she's right there. They waited till like halfway through the match. Oh, don't forget, we got the AEW Women's Champion Sheeta standing right there watching. And I understand why she's watching, because they acknowledged it. Soon as it was all in, as obviously they was out there trying to cheat. They took the kendo stick, because they stole the kendo stick out of Sheeta's hand, knocked it out, and she was trying to whack Taya, and Sheeta hopped up in there, got it back, and then Taya did the move on Bunny. 1, 2, 3. So they acknowledged that with her being number one in the ranking, she gets a shot at Cheetah. They was talking. So obviously it's funny, as soon as Dr. Britt Baker said that the ranking system don't mean nothing, they actually acknowledged it. So kudos on them on finally acknowledging the ranking system, because they should have been doing that a long time ago. How the client you have a ranking system but don't even acknowledge it? Makes no sense to me. But they did. So obviously, probably you don't want a show, or maybe 2 shows from now, we're getting Sheeta versus Taya Conti for the AEW Women's Champion. Now, you know she's not winning, but kudos to her. Conti is winning. She getting the wins. She's dominating. She's improving in the ring. How do I feel about Bunny? Ellie is okay. I think she still needs some work. Little things get better here and there, but overall it was a decent women's match. Like I said, I ain't finna jab on them. Now, I kind of was upset about this. They talked about for next week we getting Red Velvet versus Jade Cargill. I said, why are we getting the match so early? I was thinking that we could possibly just keep building until we get to the pay-per-view, because I would have preferred to see these two at the pay-per-view. But the fact that we getting these two right now, I don't know. I don't know if we should be getting them right now. I don't know. But the vignette, you heard Red Velvet talk about some. You think you really is that woman? Well, you show me, because you got lucky. Basically, that's what she said. You got blessed by beating me that other time, but you're not gonna beat me again, because you need to show me that you really is that beat. Because I'm gonna take you out. And I said, nope. I said, obviously we know who winning the match. We know Red Velvet's losing. Jade is going over again. So I would have personally held this off to the pay-per-view. I know we got a long time. We basically got to May 30th, but I would have held. I get why they trying to do it now, because possibly they trying to maybe have more than just one match. I'm assuming that the match is gonna be great, because obviously they trust Red and Jade to give us something. You know, Ty and Bunny did what they could last night. So we getting Red versus Jade for next week. Hopefully they knock it out the park. So now we move on to the main event. They gave us a vignette on how this beef came to be. Omega, Good Brothers, Young Bucks, and Moxley. How do I feel about this match? This match basically for me, like I said, you know, AEW constantly keep giving us these multi-man matches day in there, week in, week out. I really don't be invested in the matches. What I be focusing in on is the storytelling that's going on. You know, Don Callis had to hop on commentary because you know they gotta have the heel talking bull crap. And throughout this whole match, we pretty much was trying to figure out who's the legions is the Young Bucks, especially Matt. Matt kept constantly acting like he didn't want to beat up on Kenny Omega. Every time he would have Kenny Omega down, he just acted like he didn't know what the heck he was doing. It was just like, yo, and so obviously this was ticking Moxley off. Cause Moxley was like, bro, what is y'all doing? Like, bro, we gotta take this fool out. This fool got so deep inside your head that y'all actually have no idea what the clown you do. This is why a lot of people say that they really don't know if the Bucks are baby faces or heels. To me, the Bucks have been tweeners for forever. We don't know. I'm just gonna get to the end of the match. So Moxley, he had Omega ready to go. He did his moves on him. He did the 30 Ds on him a couple times. Then he's finna choke him out. And he kept running up on the Bucks like, fellas, come on, what is wrong with y'all? What is going on? Young Bucks ended up super kicking him. Then Kenny Omega did the move, 1, 2, 3, match over. And then they did it again. It's almost like it really is. It's like, man, like where do they allegiance stand? They keep playing this game. Are they with Kenny? Are they against Kenny? They don't know. It's almost like we really don't know what. We just out here trying to tell something and we just coming up with anything and come off the top of the dome. I'm like, look, it's great, but I still need to know what's really going on now. Obviously, they did it because they leaving you on a cliffhanger so you can tune in next week. Kudos to Tony because that's the name of the game. But still, you know, it's like, man. So and I forgot to say, Eddie Kingston, he came out there trying to do something. He got laid out too. He got laid out by Lou Gallows and Carl Anderson. But it is, man. So you know what? This is what I think. So next week, since we're getting the tag team title match, I think Death Triangle is losing. Young Bucks are gonna win, and then we're gonna get Kingston and Moxley versus the Young Bucks. Now, whether that's at Double or Nothing or not, that's the matchup, and I got them winning. They're gonna win those tag team titles. That's what I'm going with because the Young Bucks acting like they don't know what it's like. Their allegiance is, especially like Nick. Nick is just following his brother because that's what it's like. Matt is so emotionally drained. He's so emotionally distraught about losing Heyman, Kenny on this. I want to be like Thanos nonsense, hanging out with Don Callis, running over the Impact 24/7, acting like they run Impact. I'm like, it's just he's not there anymore. It's like, bro, what the heck is going on? Nick is just following. Nick is like, okay, Matt, whatever you do, I'm doing. You know, and we just go on for that. So that's the end of the show. Decent Dynamite. Like I said, my only complaints was what I complained about. Uh, you know, it is what it is. What y'all think? Did y'all think this is a fire episode? Hit the comment section up. I'm gonna talk about NXT, and I'm gonna just say it right here. When it comes to wrestling, NXT won for the wrestling side because obviously it was a pay-per-view. So I just want to put that out there. So I'm about to talk about NXT on my next review. But like I said, this is no knock against Dynamite. Dynamite always dominates. They always deliver when it comes to the promos and telling compelling stories. You know what I'm saying? But first and foremost, I want to thank, well, last, because this is the final part before I cut this thing off. I want to thank everybody who decided to show up. Thank you for all the new subscribers and everything. I'm going to keep putting this content out. Feel free, like I said, to share this video all over the place. Like it, thumbs up. Like I said, comment. Let me know what you felt about it. If you feel 100% like me or you think that this episode was completely fire, hit the comment section up. Tell me about it, and we'll go from there. Keep it on a respect level. Thank y'all so much. This your boy Casey Bill King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. I'm gone.